Welcome, welcome everybody. Pursuit here, and I am a space engineer. This thing here is blinding us in the eye because the game thinks that it's broken because I unloaded the game and yeah. So we're going to go ahead and just destroy this off, and then we will get started figuring out what we're going to mine out here. So there we go, much better. We're going to figure out what kind of ores we need to mine here. We've got the ship all hooked up here. We've got some more thrusters on it. We've got the connector on there to hook us all up together. We moved our storage container. And I think in general we're doing pretty good for starters, but we probably don't have a lot of power left. If I make that jump. Oh, I think I made it and then I gave up early. I can do it with my... Nope. I can do it with my jetpack. I just wanted to see if it was possible. So, in case I run out of energy later. But what I wanted to see was, it says I have 2 hours here of fuel time. So that's not a whole lot. We need to work out some. Now it says 3. It's going to change. 13, 2 days. Well, okay. 7 days. Who knows? It doesn't know what it wants. 12 days, 14 days. Wow, it just keeps on going up. Probably because it was filling up my energy is what it was doing. So 14 days, but that's not forever. We do need to get some more power going. And this ship will not fly very far, and that's without any of the thrusters working. So right now we've got one reactor here, and it's only got 2.4 ingots of uranium, which is not a whole lot. So we either need to find some uranium, we need to plug in a battery possibly, because there's no battery on this ship right now, and hook up some solar panels. A couple different options there, and that thing doesn't have a whole lot of power either. I think it's got maybe close to somewhere between 8 and 10 uranium ingots, so it's got a little more power, but we're going to be using it a lot for the thruster. So it looks like the battery is finally recharged, so that's good. Good for us to take out on trip. And so yeah, let's look at power here. So let's look at power. Let's look at what things we would need to get going here a little bit better. So power. We would need possibly some solar panels. Where are the solar? There they are. So solar panels take nickel, silicone, and iron. And really we don't have a lot of any of that. It says that we have some nickel and some iron, but not enough to make anything with. Not enough for a solar panel. Maybe a solar panel for the small ship, but probably just break it off. A battery. Where's a battery? A battery needs nickel, silicone, and iron. So we need nickel, silicone, and iron a lot. If you look at the component parts here too, a lot of the basic components take nickel and silicone, and some of them take like explosives, which we don't need a lot of explosives right now. And weapons take some interesting. They take magnesium and potassium and potassium. Platinum. Platinum, not potassium. We don't need any bananas on the ship. And then if we wanted to get some more reactor components to build reactors, we'll need some silver and gravel. Gravel is easy to get. That's just ground up stones. That shouldn't be too hard, but we need some silver. More thrusters, we need some platinum and gold. So we got a lot of... See, the solar cells are nickel and silicone. So we got a lot of things we need, but it looks like nickel and silicone and iron are going to be our first ones. Same with this. To get a good detector to find more ore, we need to have some more nickel and silicone. So we need to get some... we could build some of a detector, but I don't think we have enough to do a full... this is for a small ship. We already got one on our small ship. For the large ship, we would need... Yeah, we don't have enough silicone, we need more nickel, and we need more iron, and we also need an antenna for this ship, which would be... kind of hard to spot things in here. I wish there was a search thing up here that I could type into, but there isn't. Where is it? There it is. Silicone and iron again. So we need to find silicone and iron really bad, and nickel, and maybe some uranium to power the ship. So let's get going and see what we can find. One thing else I wanted to mention with this ship down here, since we don't have a... We just have a cockpit over there that's a me show you what I'm talking about, in case you're not following me. All we have here is one of these flight seats. So that flies the ship just fine, but it doesn't recharge anything because it's not hooked up to any kind of connectors to our oxygen. But this one over here does have an oxygen thing, and it does have a cockpit here. So watch what happens. My hydrogen and oxygen is 78, my hydrogen is 92. If I jump in here, boom, it's 100. So this thing will keep filling it up as long as we keep a little bit of, where is it? A little bit of ice here inside. But what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to dump some of that because we don't need all of that right now. It will hold 1,000. So let's pull this up. Let's drop. Where is? Let's just throw it into the cargo container 2. So let's just drop like, I don't know, let's go for half of it. Well, let's put like 800. Let's see how fast it uses up the rest of this. It's at 140, so that'll drop my volume down a little so I can carry a little bit more stuff with us. So let's go ahead and undock here and see if we can go find some ores. So one thing you have to remember about these, there's two ways you can get off of these really easy. When you disconnect here, there's a little bit of a suction. So if I like hit P to disconnect, I'm still going to be attached. If I push forward here, I'm still attached a little bit. It wants it and it yanks on the ship. The other thing you can do is take and put a connector on your bar down here for on-off, and then we can just turn it off, and it's not going to suction us anymore. We need to turn our thrusters back on. Now we can get moving. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to check before we get moving. I want to make sure that my drills are both perfectly well healed up, because I would hate to go out there and start welding with a partially broken drill. No. I'm likely to break them. Even if I do my best, you can often break your drill on those really easy. Okay, so now, where do we go look for ore? Well, we came down that side. It's kind of dark over there, too. We didn't notice anything coming down. We didn't get that close either. This only starts searching stuff at about 80 away. So let's just stick close to the ground and come over to this cliff here, head up to that other checkpoint I put up there. See if we can't spot anything that will be advantageous to us. So we'll just kind of get close. Just kind of come up the cliff here. Oh, nickel. So it says we got some nickel here. That'll be good. We did say we needed nickel. Sometimes you can find other ores in close to those. So it's saying... I don't know. Let's go in the cockpit here. If we are level, see, I'm going to get nickel right about here. Now that's probably the closest nickel. There could be some down below that we didn't see before, but let's go right here. Number 3 is to right-click, which doesn't pick anything up, but we really don't need to pick anything up right now because we do have plenty of ice. So let's go ahead and right-click to mine, and we'll go in at this. And we got to be careful that we don't go too fast, or we will break our drills. Let's go ahead and go in, though, and see if we can't get into this. Like I said, we don't need stone. We don't need the ice. So we're just going to bust through it. We're not collecting anything right now. If you notice our mass over there, it's 1195, and it's not going anywhere. So let's turn on our lights here, too. Keep going in tight towards this. Not too fast, because we don't want to break our drills. Like to break them even if I don't try. People break them all the time when I'm watching their other videos, so I'm not surprised. I've had a break on me really easy here too, so, you know, it's not just me. It seems to happen to everybody. So let's just try and go in straight. Oh, okay, we are here. You can see the kind of discoloration of the ores there. So let's swap over to doing our left click, which will start collecting it, and we'll get a little bit of stone. But like I said, we need a little bit of stone, just not a whole lot. So let's go ahead and see what we can collect. And we should be able to get about 40,000 here before we really care. So it says it's up above us now, but that's because we've mined away the stuff in front of us. Try and keep ourselves level here. I went over level. 40,000 is about where my limit is. So when we hit 40,000, we're not going to be picking up anything else. Kind of just watch and see when it stops collecting. I know I've gone over my limit. I would kind of like to not go over my limit. What I can do is I can check my drills occasionally, because my drills will kick it out. Check my inventory and look at my drills. I really don't want to waste any of this, but there's probably plenty you can waste. You kind of see where you are if you go into your... It's kind of good to know what you have, but my cockpit is full, my connector is full, my cargo is full also, so all I'll get room for left here is in my drill heads. So I've only got about 3,000 left I can go, so let's just keep drilling here a little bit more. So yeah, it is about 40,000. I'm actually getting pretty quick here. Next hit, I'm gonna see where we're at. Inventory. Go down to there. Yeah, we got about 1,000 left on each, so we got about 2,000 more we can go. So about 4,100, give or take. And you don't need to fill it all the way up. If you hear the click click and you don't get anything, you know you've filled up all the way. When I hit 4,100, I'm going to check again. Okay, I'm probably close enough. I don't really need to look, but I'm going to. I want to see how much I got of everything, too. So these are... I don't know, I got about 1,000 left. Where did it all go? I thought I was filling up faster than that. I'm not sure where it put it then. It says I still got about 1,000. I must have miscalculated. It says I still got about 1,000... Well, not quite 1,000 of each. I could go another 1,000, but I've got a bunch of stone. I've got more nickel than I do stone, it looks like right now. So we'll take this back. Let's hit it just a couple more times. And you notice my finger's saying overload now? I think I can probably go to 42, but I'm not moving very easy now. See, I'm on overload right now because I have so much weight here. That's a good indicator we should stop. So let's stop using the drill, and let's go back and turn on our battery, because our battery is going to help us on that overload we got going here. So let's get the battery, take it off of recharge, so it will discharge and recharge as it needs to. See if we can get a look at our ship. Not really that good of a possibility of looking and seeing what's going on here. Let's try and back out a little bit, though. I would prefer to do it outside of this. So let's see if we can't... Yeah, see, we can lift up a little bit now because of the batteries. We couldn't lift up before. We were kind of stuck at what we were on. And I want to back up far enough that I get out of the ore area. Okay, I am plenty out of the ore, and then I'm going to rotate my ship to try and get out. And so that would mean turning on this to the right click, because that's only stone here. I don't care if I break some stone. I'm going to try and rotate my ship around and see if I can't get out this way. Because I would rather drive out face first. And I'm rotating the ship a little bit, but I think I'll be okay. It's probably going to level out here. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, now I can see my way out. And I was almost out as it was. But I just wanted to prove a point there. And let's turn off the light. You really didn't have to go in that far. I think we hit some metal before they said that we would, or I just did it a lot faster than I thought. But that's okay. We're good. We got what we wanted. We got some nickel to get started with. So let's go back down here. Remember, we are overloaded, so it's going to take a little more effort to stop. See, I've already stopped, and it's just drifting and drifting and drifting. That's why I put the extra thrusters there on the front. I added, what, 6 more thrusters, and it's still pushing us to go. So let's get into place here. The side thrusters are still not very good, so try not... I'm going to use most... I'm not going to try and push the sides very much. That's just to keep me from drifting. But mainly what I want to do is use the gyros. The gyros are going to do most of my turning for me. It's going to be the best way. Oh, and I'm extra heavy, so I got to go slow. I almost forgot. That weight's just going to carry you down. So let's back up here a little bit. Try not to bump the ship either, because it's not really secure. It's not like locked in position or anything. So then we can hook up here. We'll see what we can do about lining up a little bit better. We got a little bit of thrust we can use for the size. We see how little it is. It's like, it's almost non-existent. There we go. Okay, back it up. Line it up pretty good. And once we're lined in place, I will turn it back on. It yanks the ship around a little bit, hopefully not too much. And then hit park. And we're good. We can turn off the thrusters because it's locked in position. And it's pulling the ship down a little bit, but that's fine. It twisted down a little bit. But I'd rather have it twisting down than having to squeeze in there and push it up. So let's go on to here now, onto the inventory, and let's see if we're... Oh, actually, we can see if it's pulling out. Oh, did it already pull it out? 196. I don't think... Let's see. Inventory. Okay, so it pulled out a bunch of it already, it looks like. Did it? Well, we'll see. This will show both of the ships because we're locked. So we can go to the refinery. Yes, it already did. Look at that. So let's put the nickel. Apparently it's not going to let me move it. Why is it not? Oh, because it's full. So let's do this. Where can we move it? We can move it back to our connector, and that will probably... We can't put it in our... We can put it back in our cargo hold. Yeah, there we go. And what it's doing is, it says you can't move that much stuff there. It's too much stuff in there already. So there, I just moved 3,000 of it up in place because it couldn't handle more than that. Like I could do another 2,000. Yeah, because it wants to do the stone first, and it says you can't do that. Okay, we're good. So we don't care that much about the stone. We want the nickel coming in. So let's take out the other stuff out of our ship. We can probably throw it into the cargo container of... Let's see... Not the reactor. Oh, the connector. We'll probably put it in the connector. That'll work okay. There you go. Throw that in there. Is there anything else left in my small ship? I'm looking at the same information here, just two different ways of pulling it in. Wow, that was a lot of ore that we mined. So all I've got left in here is a little bit of... Yeah, if you look down here, the red is where the big ship starts, the white is the small ship. I've only got 136 of the oxygen left, I mean the ice left for the oxygen. So I think we're pretty good there. If we get under 100, I'll have to consider doing something else. So I think we're pretty good for our first mining ship. I don't know, when I cut, I may go try and get some more. We need to start producing a better ship here, though, so we'll have to see how that happens. We'll have to find some other ores. I really need to find some iron. So let me know what you thought. Give me some... Whoa. Give me a like on the video if you liked it. Leave me some comments as to what you thought about how things are going. We need to turn that battery off, too. And you need to make sure to get your battery recharging. So next time we have problems, we just turn it back on and we're good. And I will see you in the next one. Now get on with your pursuit. And somehow we'll have to eventually get a better little mining ship here, because this one's can't really hold